Let's talk about how to join a Pear Deck interactive presentation. Pear Deck interactive presentations are probably going to be used a lot in this class to be able to give you access to questions that you need to answer, but also for you to be able to draw on slides to show your learning and to access videos to reiterate things that we cover in class. So what we need to do is, if you're not provided a link or you can't find the link to a Pear Deck interactive presentation, you may need to go to joinpd.com. That's join, P as in Paul, D as in dog.com. When you go to joinpd.com, you're going to be asked to enter a code. If you don't know the code, check the instructions or ask your teacher to put the code up for you to be able to access this presentation. The code I'm looking for at this point is RTLULH, and I'm going to go ahead and then access it. It's then going to ask you if you want to use an account to go into Pear Deck. Please use your school district account. That one will then link in your name so that I can know who you are when you're giving your answers. Then you get to choose how you're feeling for the day, and I always love to know how you feel, but if you really don't want to tell me, you can just skip it if you want to. Then it essentially takes you into a presentation. Sometimes these presentations are going to be controlled by me, where it moves along as I move, or they might be controlled by you. You can see how many slides are included, and you can, down at the bottom, and you can navigate through the different slides. As you navigate through, please make sure you're reading if it's something that's being done student-led. And if you reach slides that have questions, you're then going to be allowed to answer on the right. And you can just type in your answer for some of them, or you can do the multiple choice that's available. It's really important that you actually answer these questions because it shows your learning and makes it so that I know you watched the video. If there's a video, it's usually signified by click to watch the video, and you can click it and it will open it up in YouTube. When you're downloading. Now, talking about what happens in YouTube is important because some people don't even know the features. You can pause it, you can go ahead and adjust the volume down here, but then over here on the right, you've got some great options. You can turn on subtitles or closed captioning if you want to see what's being said and have it read to you on the screen. And next to that, there is a settings icon where you can control the playback speed of this video. So if you wanted to speed it up or slow it down, you could effectively speed it up going to like 1.5 or 2 times speed, or you could slow it down if you want it to go slower. And you can always maximize it to full screen the video. Note that this opened up a new tab in your Google Chrome browser or your browser that you're using. And if you're not using Google Chrome, you probably should be. Google Chrome is best for most of the things we do in class, and it doesn't get hung up by other features. Sometimes the Internet Explorer just has a really hard time loading these things. But your presentation for your interactive lesson is back on the previous tab. So you can answer the question here, which in this case is the downloads folder, and it'll tell you that you've completed this slide. You can then move forward, and if you come to other slides that have questions on them, you can continue to answer them as you're moving through. What's also important is some of these slides have the ability to draw, and I want to go over these drawing tools real quick. First, you're defaulted to your pencil tool. Your pencil tool then has a color that you can use to then draw across your screen, but it might be too big or too small for what you're wanting. So what you can always do is take your eraser and erase that line however you'd wish. Going back to the pencil, there's a sizer over here on the left that you can use to size it down to make a really thin line instead of a thick line. You've then got the highlighter that allows you to highlight over certain things so that way you're not actually covering them up, you're just highlighting them. You've got the line tool, which allows you to draw lines, again using the sizer if you'd like to create smaller straight lines. And then you've got the text tool. And the text tool is great because then you can click and type to label things like the artboard, which is right here. Again, you can use your eraser at any time to erase anything that you may or have drawn. Same thing with the, when you grab the text tool, you can go ahead and click on this text and you can always hit delete on your keyboard to delete it. The text tool has, again, its own options for sizing, but you could draw on this slide to show what you've learned. When you're all done, you'll be at the end of the presentation, and usually there are instructions on where to go next, or it's in the assignment that you're currently working on.